This place is spectacular, and we have it all to ourselves today. But the question I'm asking, and you might be asking too, what is it? Is it a castle? A monastery maybe? A church? What is it? Well, today that's what we're going to do. We're going to uncover that answer. And there's a few more secrets that this place holds. But in true fashion on this channel, we don't start at the main event. We start at the beginning of the journey, and we try to find some of those what is that moments that us travelers love so much. So join me at the beginning of the trail, and you're going to make it here, but remember, we have this place to ourselves. So stick around, and we'll learn a little bit along the way until we reach the main event. But enough jibber jabber, let's start the adventure. Welcome back to the Exploring Author, everyone. We have a great one today. I just left Gemünden on Main, and I did not film there because I wanted us to get started on the journey straight away to get to the monastery or castle ruins. We don't know what they are yet. I saw it on the train. It looks spectacular. I know you all have seen it, but you're actually time traveling because I haven't yet seen it, only from the train. It's in the Spessart Forest, up on the top of these mountains. There's a great low-level cloud or fog. There's snow. It is the perfect atmosphere for this episode. We have a proper hike to get up there. It's about 20 kilometers or a little over 12 miles. So along the way, because we're in the Spessart, home of the Brothers Grimm, I'm gonna tell a little legend or folklore that comes actually from Gemünden am Main. But the next part of this hike is gonna be pretty brutal. I'm gonna get going, I'll meet you at the top, then we'll get into this legend. I told you this is gonna be really hard today. This hike has a lot of snow, mud, ice, slush mix right now, but we're starting to get up here high enough to where that's going to turn to snow and ice, and I think mostly it is, so it should ease up a little bit. You're probably asking, why am I going 20 kilometers to hike to this place? One point of fact is that there is a parkplatz or a parking spot. You can drive here, but where is the adventure in that? Between the towns of Lohr am Main and Gemünden, where I just got off on, there's only one other town, and basically this is the only bridge. You can only cross here by foot. So, like I said, I saw it on the train. I saw this place on the train. That was about 10 minutes on the train back. So it's a good hike. So I'm gonna keep going, and I promised you that amazing fairy tale. Well, I promised you a fairy tale. I'll let you decide if it's amazing. We'll see you at the top still, hopefully. We're not quite at the top yet, but we're definitely getting closer. If I go much further, then we leave the cloud forest area, and I thought this was a perfect place to tell the legend or the German folklore that has to do with Gemünden. Now we're in the Spessart, as I told you earlier. This is where the Brothers Grimm are from. And there are thousands of legend and folklore all throughout the Spessart. This place is chocked full of them. Some of them have the spooky vibes with ghost stories, things like this. Today's legend does not. But what a perfect place to tell the legend and the folklore. With the cloud forest, it's like a beautiful, spooky vibe going on here. In the medieval town of Gemünden, where we just were, there was a little boy that sold bread and bread rolls to the locals. Unfortunately, his sales weren't that high until he ran into an old man on the Guckenberg, which is a mountain in the area. Now, the old man felt bad for this little boy. He said, "Hey, come with me to the top of the Guckenberg, and I'm gonna show you something you won't believe, and I'm gonna make sure your sales of bread go up." So the man brought him up to the top of Guckenberg and showed him this little cave, which inside there was a city beyond his wildest dreams. And in this city, there was a man with a long beard sitting around a table, and his beard wrapped around the table 2 times. This city had unimaginable wealth, and the boy sold all of his bread rolls and all of his bread, went back to town, rinse and repeat. He kept doing this day after day after day. But the thing is, in this city, they were paying him with ancient coins. Now, some people think that old man was a reference to the old Emperor Barbarossa, a very famous emperor over 1,000 years ago. But the locals, being very suspicious, stopped accepting his coins. Now the villagers are absolutely curious, and they wanted to come see it, so the boy reluctantly brought him up to the site. But there was no more cave. There was no more city. There was no more Emperor Barbarossa sitting around a table giving out ancient coins. So for the next weeks, the boys tried again and again and again by himself to see if this would happen. But never again did it open. And never again did he sell rolls and get these ancient coins. Now there might be a moral to this story, and my moral that I'm thinking is that if you open your mouth and blab everything, good things go away. But leave in the comments what you think the moral of the story is. I don't know where the mountain Guckenberg is. I looked all around the area. We are on a mountain. I don't believe that's it, but we'll keep our eyes peeled just in case we see this cave with ancient coins. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it is a nice story. But we sat long enough. It's time to continue the journey because we still have quite a ways to go. Look at this. I'm gonna stop talking for a second. Other than a plane above and a few birds in the distance, it's so quiet and peaceful up here, just beautiful. And we're out of the low-level clouds now, we're above them. It's just, nobody's up here other than a few deer tracks and one alarming dog track that I have absolutely no idea. There were no people tracks next to it. So I don't know where the dog tracks came from. But other than the deer tracks and the one set of dog tracks, it's just completely pristine snow here. I'm the first one out here. Or we are the first ones out here. All right, this little what is that moment is very difficult to find, but I did some research. I think I found at least some of the signs of where it could be, but there's a lot of snow, so there's no guarantees that we're gonna find it. It is very small. The snow is high enough, but I think we might be able to find it because I know some of the signs. Man, this is gonna be really, really tough though. Let's keep looking for it here. I'm gonna give it like another about 5 minutes of searching, and we got to keep going because it's winter time. We only have so much daylight. But I'm gonna try to find this thing. Where there's a will, there's a way. I almost gave up. I was about ready to turn back, but I found it. It's just a bit deeper off the trail than I anticipated. So here's what the story that I do know, and it's basically on the sign here. I'll translate it for you. There was a monk from this monastery or castle or both. We don't know the answer to that yet. But there was a monk and he was traveling down this road and a robber came out. Now this is during the medieval times. There's robbers all throughout this forest. This is known. This is known in history. Also part of legend and folklore as well. But they kind of intertwine here. So the monk was unalived by the robber. Now the thing is, we don't have any really written record. All we have is this cross, a plaque, and beyond that, I couldn't find any other information. So if you're from the area, please let me know, especially if you know from the Historical Society. I couldn't find any more detail than literally what's on the sign and this cross. And so it's a what is that moment. I just don't know if it's true or if it's just strictly folklore. But we're almost to the monastery. Let's keep it rolling. I'm so excited to see this. It's just a beautiful day. I'm just having a great time. Again, I'm always having a good time in these videos. This is a really good one. This place is so much more interesting than I had even imagined. I didn't even know if we were gonna be able to get in here, truthfully. I figured I'd fly the drone over, worst case. We'll get to see some cool stuff on the grounds. I did not even know we can go up there. We're gonna go up there. We're gonna go up there. I'm like a kid in the candy store. This is amazing. But what we have to do is we do have to answer that question from earlier that we asked. What is this place? It kind of has a castle vibe. Kind of has some monastery aspects to it, maybe even a church. So let's find out what this place was and actually what happened to this place as we continue to explore.
At first glance, Schönrain is hard to define. Was it a monastery, a castle, or something in between? It began around the year 1080 as a Benedictine monastery, founded as part of the Heersau reform, a movement tied to the great power struggle between emperors and popes in the Middle Ages. Perched high above the Main River, this was never just a place of prayer. Its location made it valuable, and over time, the Counts of Rieneck used the monastery to extend their territorial influence. But that balance collapsed in 1525 when the German Peasants War partially destroyed the monastery and forced the monks to flee. After the Peasants War, the Counts of Rieneck acquired the ruined monastery and rebuilt it as a residential and administrative seat. In other words, what we would reasonably call a castle today. And by the 19th century, secularization stripped the site of its purpose. The roof was dismantled, the stones reused, and the Schönrain was left to decay. What remains today is neither purely monastery nor castle, but the layered remains of both, shaped by faith, power, and abandonment.
Now that we know a little bit about the history here and we've answered some of those questions, let's keep exploring. I'm sitting at the top of that tower we saw earlier, and the one thing I keep repeating, and I'm going to keep repeating because it's so incredible, is that I'm the only one here. I haven't seen anybody all day, again, other than deer tracks, dog tracks, and some cat tracks later. That's the thing with this. When you go to places like Neuschwanstein, you go to Heidelberg, places like that, which you absolutely should, just make sure to check out some of these other places like this, because again, you might end up having this place completely to yourself and get to explore it just unadulterated, and that is amazing. But we're gonna keep exploring because I don't wanna leave. Honestly, I have another 7 kilometers to go back. I don't wanna leave yet. I'm not done. I don't think you guys are done. Let's kind of wrap it up, but let's keep exploring this place and just look at the beauty and just take it all in. I mean, that's all we can do right now, right? Let's take it all in. We know about the place. Let's take it all in. This has been an amazing day. Yeah, it was a long hike and I still have about 7 kilometers to go to get back into town to catch my train out. But I wasn't even anticipating that this place would be open. I was hoping we can catch that in. I did not know we were gonna be able to climb to the top of the tower. That is incredible. And if this wets your whistle just enough, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate those who have already done it and have joined me on other adventures. I really enjoy doing this. I'm very happy doing this. I love the off the beaten path stuff like we talked about. I will go to some more well-known places like Neuschwanstein, Heidelberg in a couple of weeks actually. Stay tuned for that one. But finding these places like this, whether it's in a book, whether it's online, whether it's Google or through a friend or looking out the window on a train, that makes it part of the adventure because you're just finding something that you have absolutely no idea about, researching it, and then presenting it on camera, hopefully in a good manner. Honestly, I would love to stay here for a few more hours. It's really not that cold. It looks cold. It's really not that bad. But it is about 7 kilometers to get back into Gemünden. I need to catch my train back to Aschaffenburg before the sun sets, preferably, because you can't really see those rocks underneath the snow, and you kind of have to have good eyesight for that. I do have a flashlight just in case. Don't want to risk it for the biscuit. We've already had a great day. And until next time, adventure awaits.